Hey there, everybody. How you doing? Today is February 16th of the year 2019. My name is Derek, author and webmaster of www.gematrinator.com, the web's first multi-layer gematria calculator. Before we get started talking about this shooting in Aurora, Illinois, where we're being told that 5 employees of a company called Henry Pratt Company were killed in a shooting by 45-year-old Gary Martin. Again, before we talk about this, let's briefly touch on what gematria is. By definition, it's the practice of coding numbers into words, a Kabbalist way of interpreting the Hebrew scriptures. This study originated in Hebrew and Greek, where it's called Gematria and Isopsophy, respectfully. Well, it turns out this numeric code is very much in play today here in the English alphabet. It's real simple. We start with the alphabetic order, called English ordinal in the top left, where each letter is numbered 1 through 26 relative to its position in the alphabet. The full reduction method uses the rules of numerology. This is also called Pythagorean gematria. And each double-digit number reduced to a single digit in that method. And then we'll also see how the reverse methods apply as well. These are complementary ciphers. Overall, we're looking at the base 4 methods. We're also going to touch on Jewish gematria, the cipher on the right side of your screen. This produces much larger numbers, and it's based on the original Latin alphabet. And this cipher also very, very significant to today's mainstream media and what we're seeing play out on the news. So to begin, I want to talk about how this shooting in Aurora, Illinois, is related to another huge false flag shooting that occurred back in 2012 in Aurora, Colorado. Same name of the city, 2 different states. To begin with, the shooting in Aurora, Colorado occurred on July 20th of 2012. July 20th was the anniversary of the moon landing back in 1969, or at least the first moon landing, as we're told it went down. Measuring from the date of the moon landing to the date of the Aurora shooting was exactly 43 years apart. And in this language of gematria, notice how Aurora equals 43 in the reverse reduction method. So does Colorado, the state where the shooting occurred. That shooting occurred on the 43rd anniversary of the moon landing. NASA, which is established by Freemasonry, is a Masonic organization. The word Masonic equals 43 in the reverse reduction method as well. And as this video goes on, we're going to talk about Masonry and how their numerology is stamped all over this ritual. And if they don't want to be blamed for things like this, then maybe their numbers shouldn't be so freaking prevalent. But we'll see that as we go. Before I continue, I want to talk about how Aurora is a goddess in Greek mythology, the goddess of dawn. And it's interesting because when you go to the Aurora page on Wikipedia, you see this famous painting where Aurora is depicted with Apollo. And think about how the missions that went to the moon were Apollo 11 through 17. It's pretty interesting, considering that the shooting in Aurora happened on the 43rd anniversary of the Apollo mission, and they already have the sharing 43s. The shooting in Aurora, Colorado is known collectively as the Batman shooting. The date on which it occurred has numerology of 59, 7 plus 20 plus 20 plus 12. In the reduction method, Batman shooting equals 59. And notice how it also shares a 158 with Freemasonry, 158 and 59 in the reverse method. That shooting in Aurora, Colorado, again on the date July 20th, written 7/20. In Jewish gematria, the word 5 equals 720. And check it out, we're being told that 5 people were killed in yesterday's shooting in Illinois. Now, it just so happens that I put up a video on the moon landing just 2 days ago on my YouTube channel. Feel free to check it out. It's a very basic decode of the moon landing from 1969. And this moon landing is perhaps Freemasonry's greatest accomplishment, the biggest lie that they've ever portrayed to the public. Of course, now we're getting many more lies in the mainstream media on a daily basis in our news, but that's kind of a different story. Freemasonry has a motto called order out of chaos. In the reverse alphabetic order, order out of chaos sums to 222. This event in Illinois is a numeric ritual related to their new governor, J.B. Pritzker, whose full name is J. Robert Pritzker, who also has reverse gematria of 222. You may also notice that order out of chaos in the Jewish method sums to 777, which happens to be the same as numeric ritual. Now, if you're to multiply 7 times 7 times 7, you get a product of 343. And if you measure from the Aurora, Colorado shooting in 2012 to the date of the shooting in Aurora, Illinois in 2019, you find it's exactly 343 weeks apart from one another. Furthermore, the shooting in Aurora, Illinois took place on February 15th, the 46th day of the year. In the alphabetic order, the word chaos equals 46. Aurora is a suburb of Chicago, which equals 46. The Latin phrase for order out of chaos is seen here, order ab chao, and ordo ab chao sums to 46 in reduction as well. Next, let's talk about J.B. Pritzker. I've been very consistent in my videos talking about how major news events in certain states have been numeric rituals in relation to the governor who recently just took office. We saw this in Wisconsin, where the Jamie Claus story wrapped up just a couple weeks ago. And now we're seeing this in Illinois with J.B. Pritzker. J.B. Pritzker took office on January 14th, 2019. And before I go any further, notice how he's the 43rd governor of Illinois. Remember the number we led this story off with, 43. The shooting in Aurora, Colorado was 43 years after the moon landing. So Pritzker took office on January 14th, which means on the date of the shooting, he was in his 33rd day in office. 33 is the number that happens to be in the middle of the order ab chao, or cow, however you want to pronounce that, in the middle of this logo, 33. Remember, 33, the highest degree of Masonry, which equals 33 in reduction. The words police, secrecy, order, false flag, all also 33 in the same method. J.B. Pritzker is currently 54 years old. Check out the name of the shooter, Gary Martin. His name sums to 54 in reduction. Gary Martin, the shooter, is said to be 45 years old. And check out how Illinois equals 45 in reduction and 54 in the reverse method, just like Gary Martin in the standard reduction method. But where it really gets weird is when you notice that Gary Martin has 54 and 63 gematria. This is the same as J.B. Pritzker. So the name of the shooter matching the name of the governor, 54 and 63. These are also the same two numbers when you type out Freemasonic. Freemasonic equals 54 and 63. Aurora, its nickname is the City of Lights, which sums to 63 in reduction. 63 in reverse reduction also for a double gematria. So now let's check the numerology of the date of the shooting. We talked about how it was on the 46th day of the year. We'll check out the life lesson number, 2 plus 15 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9. We get 29 from this number. Aurora equals 29 in reduction. Notice how Aurora shares gematria 29 and 74 with Masonic 29 and 74. And if you measure from the date Illinois became a state on December 3rd to February 15th, you find that Illinois is 74 days after its birthday. If you're familiar with my work, you may understand the satanic gematria method at this point. Satanic gematria, using this cipher, equals 666, which is the 36th triangular number. 36, the first number in this cipher. Well, in this method, Masonic equals 319. In Jewish Gematria, Freemasonic equals 319. And the date on this shooting is the date that leaves 319 days in the year. That would be February 15th. Another number that's significant to Freemasonry is 227. Ancient accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry equals 227 in reverse reduction. So isn't it interesting that this number, which is so commonly coded with the circle, is also found in the Gematria of Henry Pratt Company, where the shooting took place. 227 in the reverse alphabetic order. Also notice how Henry Pratt Company sums to 88 in the reduction method. Aurora, Illinois sits on the 88th meridian west. And in the reverse alphabetic order, Aurora equals 88. Henry Pratt Company also sums to 83 in the reverse reduction method, which is appropriate since that's where the murders occurred, and the word murder equals 83 in reverse. So when we're talking about the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, we're also looking at the local police officers. In Aurora, Illinois, the police chief is named Kristen Zeman, and that name sums to 165 and 159, which are the same two values as Scottish Rite using the same two methods, 165 and 159. So is this really all a coincidence, or is this more of a Masonic ritual, which is partly in tribute to the moon landing? And part of the reason this could be all going on right now in relation to the moon is because we just got news about the second Mars rover from 2004. That mission finally ended earlier this week. Mars equals 51 and 57, also 15 in reduction. Notice how Moon equals 51, 57, and 15. And if you want to see how the whole rover ritual on Mars carried out by the numbers, please feel free to check out my video on that, which is on my channel. So thanks to everybody who jumped in. Sorry, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter video. Unless I have any other posts I might want to touch on real quick. Let's see what we got. You know what? I do want to talk about the death of Lee Radziwill, who was the younger sister of Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. I haven't done a post on that yet, though, so I am going to whip that up, and I'm going to go live in a little bit later this afternoon. So thanks to everybody who jumped in the chat and contributed. Peace, love, God bless, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. See ya!